What is going on, Wolfpack Nation? We have had a wonderful week last week and weekend, and we're super excited to talk about it. Look, I got this thing lit up red back here, and we did
Hold
that a
on.
lot this weekend, didn't we, guys? Oh, there she's got it. Look at her go. Look at kids go with the wolf
We
head
stepped it
there.
up.
We did step it up.
We stepped it up.
Look, for anyone that's older than 35, 40, if anyone knows that song, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, Sleep Till Woodbridge, I got home at 2:30 this morning from an awesome weekend in Raleigh. I was pretty much at everything that I could get at, minus wrestling.
Everything.
I capped
He
it
was
off
a
last night.
party.
Everything. I appreciate that. I capped it off with the Ice Pack 7-3 victory. How fitting that it was a football score in Carter Finley to beat the
Right.
Holds
really.
to end the weekend. So, guys, I've talked enough for the beginning. Kens, what are your first thoughts?
It was a great 5 days. It really was. I mean, I have a lot of family members that are Carolina fans, a lot of friends that are Carolina fans. So it was great that all my crap talk for the past 6 months have paid off. And that was the loudest. Yeah, that was the loudest I've heard PNC ever.
Yeah,
And
I would have to agree with that.
I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, it was epic to say the least. Michael, I know you came in from Florida. That's how big it was. Like Tuffy Talk was there. Like we were there all weekend at all the events. We came in from Northern Virginia, Florida, the mountains of Carolina there for Kens, or edge of the mountains, I guess.
Yeah.
But Michael, just tell us your thoughts on your weekend up to Raleigh.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, you couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, I didn't get in Friday, so I missed the women's basketball game, but I saw a hockey game on Saturday. That was great. I mean, that was, I know it's not NC State, but it was
But
as
it kinda
close as you
was.
could get. Yeah, that's what
I was going to say, Dave Doran shotgunning a beer
right.
with NHL guy. That's kind of NC State right there.
Right.
Yeah, we'll touch on that for sure.
Yeah, and that was probably a top 3 sporting event that I've been to in my life.
Yeah, I would agree. I've been to a Stanley Cup Finals. I think that would probably be number 1. But yeah, it's right up there in the city of Raleigh, NC State. I won't give the NHL much credit because there was some hiccups, but everyone else did a fantastic job getting that event. Even the band was there. Marty Smith had an NC State hockey jersey on. Like everything
on
about
the football helmet. I was like, what a man!
Yeah,
what a man!
Yeah, I want to be that guy. That's the guy. That's what I should be doing. Like I feel like that's what should be my job because
drinking beer.
I would kill that. I would crush that job.
You would crush it. You would.
But anyway, all right. Well, I mean, I don't even know where to begin. I mean, we kind of just jumped in on the intro there. Actually, let's say hello to a couple people in the chat. Nicholas, hey, thanks for having thanks for being on with us. Yeah, what a great weekend it was. If you're an NC State fan, other than winning a national championship, which we did win a championship this weekend, and we'll definitely talk about that for a few seconds.
And we're going to win another NCAA.
We will, absolutely. But other than winning a championship, I think it was probably the next best thing that you could ask for as an NC State fan. But King Knott said he just saw. I mean, actually, I will show this right here. He said that he saw that the state wins out, and we need Clemson to lose Virginia to get a 4. The math seems to possibly equal that. I wouldn't doubt it. Again, there's probably a bunch of tiebreaker scenarios in there that that goes into that equation.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot. And then this one, if it's who I think it is, I think we have the Ice Packs coach himself, Mr. Tim Healy, in the chat tonight. And if that's you, Coach, man,
someone imitating him,
or someone emulating him. That's correct. Yeah, who knows in today's world? That's a good call.
Right.
But
I just got catfish.
I did get catfish. I got bait caught.
Side note there, did you see that sign from the Louisville Duke game last night?
Yes.
Duke students were catfishing the Louisville players, like basketball players.
Got a Louisville guy to invite them to the hotel the night before and printed out the Tinder messages and put it on a poster. I was like, no,
That's
this-
messed up.
that is messed up.
That's crossing a line. That's
And
for
I
sure
think it's
crossing a line.
borderline illegal. Like you can get in serious
yeah.
trouble for that.
No, I'm pretty sure there's been laws passed and against, different states, I'm sure, have different rules and laws against that. But yeah, that's insane. No, I digress, but that is insane. I totally missed that with all my traveling and everything.
I mean,
honestly,
that
he's
poster
like, nope, that's me. How do we
that
know,
poster-
Coach?
right? That poster doesn't get taken away at Duke, but the one that says "Dangerous for the team" got taken away before the freaking game even started on Sunday.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, State would never allow that to happen.
No. All right. So what do we want to? I mean, I don't know. I think we work our way up.
Yeah,
I guess
women.
start in chronological order.
Chronological order. So you had the women, with an amazing comeback. Probably the second best comeback I've seen next to Louisville last year. With that 14-point lead. I would almost argue this was more impressive because we were down 10 with 4 to go. We had already in that Louisville game, we had cut it. I don't remember the exact numbers, but we weren't down by 10 with 4 to go. I do definitely remember that. But
not that much.
I mean, what a gritty win that just set the tone for the whole weekend. I feel like
100%.
Yeah,
like, I feel like if they would have lost that game, it would have been a completely different weekend.
Yeah, you had people step up in that game. Jakira Brown-Turner had 18 points.
And threes.
Yeah, the threes were back. That was a beautiful sight to see. And then Isaiah James had 18 points. And at the time, I think that was her career high. And then she just broke it on Sunday, getting, I think, 20 or 22. But just an overall great performance. You could tell that this team is struggling still, but that they found a way to get a win in a very. You talk about PNC being loud on Sunday. Reynolds was rocking really. Thursday night.
Oh, I bet.
Like it was every bit of just awesome. So anyway, you guys have any thoughts? I've been rambling because I've had an amazing week and I can talk about it for weeks.
I mean, I think the girls finally. I mean, I think I finally saw a little glimpse of the last few years' teams and that team on Thursday. Like they all stepped up when they needed it the most, and to come back 10 points in 4 minutes, like I feel like that set the tone for the rest of the season going into the ACC tournament. Like I wouldn't be shocked if they go on a run, honestly.
They have the talent. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say that is holding them back, and through no fault of her own, you can definitely tell that Diamond's not 100% out there. She only played 25 minutes, and then Sanaya handled most of the ball handling duties at the point. So that's still a concern.
And I think,
go ahead.
I don't know if I'm misremembering this, but did I see something Wes said that they're gonna hold Diamond out until the ACC tournament?
I missed that. So I wasn't. Yeah, with everything going on Sunday, I wasn't real connected with women's basketball. There was so much going on this weekend. Yeah. I felt like I had like attention.
Oh no.
But
we lost.
Yeah, so started off Thursday.
There you go. You're back.
I think the tweeted this out on Thursday.
No.
So the best part for me on Thursday night was when Coach Banghart walked by me and I started the shana na 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 hey goodbye chant for her, and all the state parents were just rolling laughing. I mean, just rolling, and I was like, I felt so petty, but apparently I didn't cross the line compared to what we just talked about a few minutes ago.
No.
But
that's not crossing the line at all.
No, that's just good. That's just good.
Yeah. And she still has not won in Reynolds. I don't think
she's 0 for 4. That's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct. Yep.
It's that small gym. It has to be.
I honestly, we should create like I know they have that small gym big wins, but we should create like a t-shirt that says small gym syndrome or something like that. Like I feel like that's what she suffers from. So
that's good.
Yeah, that's
nobody
pretty
steal
good.
that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's ours.
For sure.
Oh, yep, cancel the live. DJ Burns just tweeted, guys. Cancel the live. Let's all go look at it real quick. I'm gonna pull it up.
And then just Aiden is in the room or in the here says, yeah, without Diamond too. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
She sat on the
Yeah.
bench most of that second half. And that's where we were just talking Isaiah James stepping up. And
that move,
look, I think
the Euro step she had was so nasty. The fake, she faked it
Oh,
and
yeah.
then went right around the defender. Oh, that was beautiful.
and then she had that steal.
Uh-huh. Oh man.
Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah.
You're going in and out, Craig.
Guys, I with my network. Lights.
It's
You
the
have
lights.
one job. Let me.
You're good.
No,
You're good now.
You're back. Am I back? Okay.
Yeah, you're back.
You're good.
Verizon, you had one job. One job, Verizon. Okay. Anyway.
Greg needs a nap, y'all.
All right. So
Give
I
him
guess we
some-
talk about Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baseball opening day at the newly renovated Doak. That was cool. First time seeing. I had seen it from outside of the stadium, but that was the first time that I had been in since they did everything. First thoughts. Look, everyone was hating it on Twitter, and I thought then that the hate was too soon, and I still think the hate was too soon. I thought that they did do a very nice
look
job.
better.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. The
Okay,
grass
good.
again is starting to get a little greener, right? So it's filling in. The turf didn't look as green as it did the first time I saw it. I don't know what. Maybe again the grass was just greener. I don't know.
Well, it was probably it's probably some of both. The grass growing in and getting greener, and the turf just being used more. It loses some of that bright green color too.
Yeah, for sure. But some of the things other than the turf that we've talked about, they actually put new scoreboards up, other than the big one, obviously. But they put new little scoreboards up along the lines, so you can get the big every time. They built those into the wall. Yeah, so I thought that was a nice thing. And the one comment that I heard a lot about against the Duke before, about the Duke before we even talk about the actual games, was that you can now see the miles per hour on pitches. So you can definitely tell what they're throwing. Whether they're fastballs, curveballs, sliders, whatever. The indication, the miles per hour is a big indicator of what they're actually throwing. Yeah.
Nice.
But did you guys, before I keep rambling, did you guys catch any of the games or scores or any thoughts before I share mine?
I didn't get to watch any, but obviously we kept up with it.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were, we didn't see Sam Highfield at all. And the lineup seems like they were just kind of mixing up the lineup, just which makes sense. You're gonna find out which lineup works the best early in the season, and then as the season goes on, probably stick with one. But no, it was a sweep. That second game was a little close there, but a little
closer. Yeah, they won 3-2 on Saturday.
Yeah, couldn't ask for much more than that.
So first game was 14-1, and in fact, Parker was getting ready to talk about Mr. Green himself. But on Saturday it was 3-2. We were down 2-0 in the seventh and scored 3. So it showed a little bit of grit there. Again, I think that was the theme this weekend was grit. And they did their thing. And then on Sunday handled business 9-0. Peyton Green, I think he went like 6 for 13 or something like that. I think he had like 5 or 6 RBIs. Cozy had a nice weekend with about 5 RBIs. Here we'll bring that one up too. How do you feel about Highfield being the closer role? Yeah, so a little bit of insider baseball, having known some of these guys, that's kind of the plan right now is to build Sam back up. You could see him in type of a Villeman role this year. Don't be surprised if that ends up coming to fruition. But at least for now, I think it's just kind of getting him back into the groove. You could see him back in a starter role. Again, we talked about this in our Pac-9 preview. There's not going to be a rush to get some of these guys back. We are a little thin right now on arms. Rio, like transferred from Oregon. He hasn't pitched, and there's a few others there that have suffered some minor injuries. So hopefully we get those arms back pretty soon. Again, we talked about it in the Pac-9. Our early season out of conference schedule is fairly favorable. So you can kind of, stack some of those wins that you're going to need later on ACC play while you get guys healthy. So I think that's going to be a big thing. But
and like you were saying, I think that Heifel in the closer role is more just getting him back to game action. I don't think.
Yeah,
if he's healthy enough, you're gonna have him as a starter. Yeah,
right. Right. And again, and you kind of mentioned it too, Michael. It's about tinkering. Like, how do you get your best players out there and get them in situations where they're going to be successful? And if that's for Sam, I'll get my words, like you said, I'm kind of tired. But if it's the closer role for Sam, then that's what they're going to do. And Sam is the ultimate team player. He's going to do whatever that the team asks of him, obviously, and he's just a bulldog like that, if you will. So, but hey, guys, appreciate that, Aiden and Parker. Appreciate you guys being in the chat, and anyone else out there. If you guys are out there, just throw questions at us. We're just here to have a fun conversation. And try to answer questions to the best of our ability. So
and talk about beating our little brother this weekend.
Yeah, that was awesome. All right, so we kind of touched on baseball right there. So
wrestling.
Yeah, we kind of skipped it. Yeah, everything was kind of running concurrently.
We went Friday night.
Yeah, that was Friday night. We went to Carmichael.
Beat the win again there.
Yeah, I think it was 28-6. I'm trying to do memory here.
Won 8 out of the 10 duels. So
so that gave us co-champions of the Atlantic Coast Conference for the regular season. There's a 3-way tie with Pitt, Virginia Tech, and us. So again, that's another. I think we've had the regular season, like, I don't know, like 5 out of the last 6, I think it is, or something like that. So just another dominating performance. We got, I think
10 in a row versus UNC.
Yep, thank you. 10 in a row versus UNC. # not our rival. But
little brother.
Yeah, little brother. What did you guys think of that? I saw this a lot this weekend of Carolina fans trying to do the wolf down, and they ended up looking stupid and doing like the horns down. I don't
know. I'm surprised that hasn't caught on sooner, honestly.
Right.
Like the horns down thing, that's been around for, I don't know, forever probably, but it's really gotten popular with social media in the last 4 or 5 years. And I'm really surprised we hadn't seen it sooner, but I don't know. It is what it is. When you have a hand signal or like, I don't know, anything that your rivals will use it against you.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like they should make sure they win before they use it against us. So
that's
and then
true.
just
not gonna lie, the wrestling thing, he just set himself up for failure. Like he really did.
The problem with our logo is the eyes and the mouth, or nose and mouth, or so you can't even see it. So like you'd have to
it just looks like horns down. It's like, what are you doing?
So you kind of look silly.
We're NC State, we're not Texas.
Well, then I think we tweeted out, I believe it was us that tweeted out that UNC doesn't have an original thought, with the jump around with Wisconsin and then lighting their little bell tower after we started doing it. And now they're doing the horns down Texas thing. So, hey, Carolina, find something original. So
Greg has spoken.
Yeah. All right. And I guess, we're kind of blowing through these, so we'll definitely come back and talk a little bit more about them, but we're just wanting to give high level stuff and go from there. So
Saturday.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Winter Classic for a few minutes. I think it deserves it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like a huge marketing video for.
It was. I called it an infomercial. Yeah, I called it a 3-hour infomercial. I thought, look, we just kind of hung out in a little place and tailgated, but all the pictures that I've seen, they transformed the 1,000 lot into the Fan Fest, and they did their setup out there. They had all kinds of live entertainment. It was just a party atmosphere. Plus, then you had Friday too, all the Fan Fest stuff that was in downtown.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, they had they kind of transformed. I think it was Fayetteville Street, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But there's so many pieces to pick from this game. I want to start first by just giving a shout out to the Power Sound of the South. They were awesome. Like,
And they were exhausted on Sunday too.
oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
they were exhausted.
Well, you think about it, a lot of those guys and girls pull double duty doing pep band stuff too. I'm sure, So
They
had
killed
they had just as much of a busy weekend as we did as fans, and but the Rock You Like a Hurricane when the team came out, I thought that was just really cool. I mean, really well done. You had Witt and DT kind of announce the team onto the ice. That one could have been done a little bit better.
They didn't.
I don't think they prepared.
No, I don't think they rehearsed.
I think that they just said, "Hey,
let's go out and do our thing."
Yeah,
I mean,
David Thompson and Derek Wittenberg. No one's gonna judge us.
And that's exactly what I was gonna say. It's like when you're that person,
Right.
you don't care.
You
Like,
do whatever you want, honestly.
We do want to send out some get wells for anyone that didn't hear. Witt fell off the stage right after that and had to go to the hospital, and he's on crutches. Got a knee brace that I saw. So want to give our shout out and our best wishes to a speedy recovery for the legend there, Derek Wittenberg.
Absolutely.
But just getting back to the game, I thought the red lights looked awesome for the game. Like on the intros, I thought they did a great job. The fireworks on the anthem, the pyrotechnics. It felt like a spectacle. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, it was, the whole atmosphere was awesome. Me and my friend actually were in the south end zone.
Okay.
But kind of
like sitting or like down on the
where the student section would be for football,
okay.
But we were at the top of that section, so we actually could see better than I thought we could. Than there, I was like, oh, we're not going to be able to see anything from the end zone, but it was good.
Yeah, we were kind of the opposite. I think we were pretty much diagonal from you. Very last section 31, about halfway up, and I agree. I didn't think it was. Look, I think they said it on the broadcast, and I'll get back to you here in a second, Michael, that, and we've always said this as fans, is Carter Finley is so intimate. Like it's, I think it's the right size. You could probably squeeze another 10,000 and still get that same feel. But it was perfect. Like it was the perfect environment. But go ahead, Michael.
Yeah. Like you said, you were talking about the lights and all the intro was awesome. I'd say the only thing that would have been better is if they had them run out of the tunnel with the wolf and smoke coming out of that tunnel. But
well, you even had the flyover team, right? Like for anyone that doesn't know, everyone's probably been to Carter Finley. NC State is the only university that has a dedicated flyover team. So that they came out for the Winter Classic Stadium Series.
Yeah.
I'd done that a lot.
You back?
Yeah,
I know. Stupid thing.
You're good.
I mean, we're forgetting about our university's treasure, Ripken. No one's mentioned Ripken.
Yeah.
The puck drop. No one's mentioned him.
I mean, that was awesome.
The fact that we're undefeated when Dave Doran is in the house in any sport. He was at the hockey game.
Besides football.
Well, yes. He was at the women's game. He was at the Canes game. He was at the basketball game. And he was at the Ice Pack game.
Look at that.
So maybe he should.
Yeah,
I'm telling you.
And Keats was at the women's game on Thursday as well. So it was great seeing all the support from I like this question by AD.
Ooh, good question. So these Canes old-time golf outfits or the Caps football themed varsity jackets? I don't think I actually saw the Caps.
Yeah, I didn't even see theirs. I saw the golf.
Know that. The golf was great. I mean, it was
Yeah,
it was original.
yeah, the golf was good. The Caps had a white, it was like a Letterman's jacket, and it had like the city symbol flag, if you will, and it had 75.
Yeah.
I think it said 75 on their jackets, which I believe that they came into the league. And they all carrying footballs. So that was pretty cool. And they had
Okay.
they looked high school jocks. If you picture the high school
Yeah.
football team, that's exactly what
Yeah.
they looked like. And they came in on a school bus.
Oh, really?
Oh, I didn't know that.
They're really committed to the bit.
Right? That's funny.
Both teams did a great. What was that? I'm sorry. You guys there? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're all tired, guys.
Yeah, I thought it was all done well.
Yeah.
It gave you goosebumps watching it on TV, so I can't imagine what it was actually giving you.
I do need to go back and watch the highlights like from the broadcast because I haven't done that. See what it looks like.
Yes. So I rewatched it just because I wanted to see and the Jimmy V intro. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was great.
If for anyone anyone that was at the game, you can go on ESPN app and they have the full game there, and so you can really watch everything. And I kind of just did that just to see what I didn't miss. But and then I guess that's I don't know. Anyone else have any final? I mean, obviously, everyone see the Wolfpack, the Wolfies that the players were throwing up after the game during their storm surge. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
I saw one of the players, and I apologize, I don't follow the Canes, so I don't know who it was, but he had his lamp black on, and it said Wolfpack on his little stickers. So I thought that was cool. I guess the last thing, because we'll bring it back to a state perspective. What do you guys think about all the hate that state was getting from, like we were talking about the 3-hour infomercial?
I don't see how there could be hate from it. They had to use our football field.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to have to give some type of marketing to the university. Like, I don't understand why Carolina fans thought that we would have a whole video of UNC. Like, for what? Like, honestly, for what? Why?
Yeah, the angle I think they were going for is there's more of the college teams in the triangle than just NC State. But I'm sorry, your stadiums stink, and they didn't want to go play it there.
Yeah,
like all of our seats are used during the season. They're not half empty. So I mean,
and we'll talk about the ice pack here in a few minutes. We had as many as they probably do for some of their football games. So
that's what Mom said. Mom said that yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at Carrie over here talking smack. I'm so proud of her.
But honestly, I didn't have a problem with it because you have the ACC network, which is the All Carolina channel. So exactly. I really don't care that we had a few minutes of glory. That again, we've talked about it tons and times again. NC State, and again, we talked about another ACC championship this weekend. We win a lot of championships. Unfortunately, they're not always in the big power revenue sports. So there's a lot to be proud of and a lot to celebrate from our favorite university. So if we just get 3 hours on a Saturday night, so be it. Like, just get over yourselves. But that just goes back to the attitude that those elitists have of themselves, both Duke and Carolina. I didn't see it so much from Duke fans, but they probably don't care.
Not at all. Yeah.
It was mostly Carolina
fans.
Yeah, agreed.
They have a problem with anything the state does.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, when you think of the triangle, I mean, state has the full environment. You have the band, you have the cheerleaders, you have the dance team, the mascots. Like,
yeah. That's a good point too, because we didn't even talk about them. We didn't talk about the cheerleaders, then the baton twirlers, and I mean, it was a complete team effort on all of the state support folks. Like I said, the band and the cheerleaders. The cheerleaders were awesome. I mean, they had the crowd going the whole time.
They were this weekend being there Thursday. Some of them went on Friday.
Yeah.
Then the Canes game. Then
Yep.
I can't imagine how tired they
I was joking about it. I said I went to a football game and a hockey match broke out. I mean, that was kind of
Right.
like kind of just summed it up. I literally felt that I was at an NC State football game with
Yeah,
all the
tailgating was
Yeah.
like the exact same almost. A
Yeah.
few too many ECU flags I saw, but
yeah.
no.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I didn't see any Carolina flags, so
I
did
didn't.
too.
I saw a
I
couple
saw
ECU ones
ECU.
though.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
I did too.
No, but I love that they incorporated it so much. Like I'm not gonna apologize for that.
Nope.
And
Nope.
like I saw somebody say that maybe if they put Mac Brown on TV instead of Dave Doran, then UNC would be in the NCAA tournament right now.
Yeah. And then
It was the marketing they missed out on. That's what's
Right.
them
and
out.
Carson, I could substitute Keenan Stadium for anything. Carmike, other than the Dean Dome, but anytime that State comes over to play them in Chapel Hole, it's there's always a sea of red. And we talked about it earlier when the women went over and played them in basketball, that they upped the tickets by $5 a ticket because they knew that was going to be their best selling event. So spot on comment there, Carson. But and then again, I think this will carry on for a couple of minutes. That why does UNC care? They're not our rival, and we're actually going to talk about this. So let's actually segue into the.
I love Petty Kevin.
And that's exactly where I was going to go with that.
Petty Kevin.
Yeah. So obviously, the men's basketball team. I wouldn't even say a huge win at this point, right? Like it's Carolina, and they're not a great team, so it's not.
It's not even we're the little brothers. They're our little brothers. We're the only child right now. Like we're really just out here thriving.
Yeah, they needed that win more than we did.
Yeah.
I mean, we need all of ours, but in the grand scheme of things, and then we'll bounce back to this comment up here in a second too. But NC State gets I believe it was a 9-point win. I think it was 77-69. What was it?
Yeah,
What was the final?
77-69.
69. Yeah. Yep. There was some garbage baskets at the end when the game was already out of hand. And then you know what? Before we get too far into this, they just kept fouling. Like the game was over.
Like go home.
Yeah. Just take your L.
Yeah.
But
that was tough.
No, Caleb Love is the most disrespectful human being. He was cussing out.
So glad he got teed up
in our in courtside, and I'm looking around and I'm like, first of all, he's cussing out these refs. Y'all are gonna let him talk to you like that?
Yeah.
And still give fouls their way. I was shocked with the way he was acting. Like I joke when I'm like Carolina fans, Carolina players are classless. No, that was bad.
Yeah,
like, it was bad. He was saying some extremely disrespectful things.
On the one where he flopped on the three and got the technical, like as I knew as soon as he flopped and they didn't call anything, he was going to turn around and yell at the ref. And it happened exactly as I imagined.
I'm surprised it didn't come sooner, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I'm actually honestly surprised that Hubert didn't get teed up at some point. He was losing his stuff.
He was
multiple times.
Yeah.
And Keats came close one point. I don't remember what it was, but he got out there, and I was like, okay, look, if you've given Hubert the benefit of the doubt, you better give Kevin the benefit too.
Which they did.
They did. Yeah. Yep. Again, and there's so much to dissect from this game, so I don't know where to begin. But I guess let's just talk about some of the players of the game. Obviously, you got to start with Jarkel. Just another great performance.
Freaking beast. Kel.
I don't have my stats here. Maybe Michael, you can look it up on ESPN. The last 6 games, they usually do like a little composite. Other than the UVA game where no one did too well on that one. He's got to be over 20 points in pretty much like almost all of his games in the last, like I said, 6 or 7 games, with the one outlier being UVA. But he stepped up as a team in the first half. Both ways it was ugly. When we took a 1-point lead into the half, we had a lot of air balls. I don't know, it was kind of it was kind of a continuation from the Syracuse game. Yeah, where we had and we hadn't even talked about the Syracuse game, and I think we're going to do another live stream on Thursday. It sounds like, so maybe
we're talking positive tonight.
Yeah. And we're just
wins only.
yeah, I mean, if you're a Carolina fan, this is not a safe place for you right now. So
Yeah.
call the mom and get the women and children and let them hide. But yeah. So Jarkel, another great game. Just
So
go ahead.
it's really been just the last 3 games for him
Okay.
because he scored 5 against Georgia Tech and 5 against UVA.
Okay.
But then against Boston College, he had 26 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists. Syracuse, he had a triple double, even though we lost that one.
Again, we didn't talk about that.
Yeah. And then against UNC, he had 29.
Got you. And I know he had that Wake Forest game not too long ago too, where he went off. He had like 28.
Yeah. He goes off whenever his family's in town.
Oh, there you go.
I know he does.
There-
I know his whole family was there. He told me for the Carolina game. So I think that second half, either maybe one of his parents texted him and was like, "Look, like we came all the way from Mississippi for this." Stuff and I think he did. But they're just having fun at this point. Like I knew that they had no worry that we were going to lose when Jarkel dunked it and Terquavion came and celebrated with the students while play was going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, the game is still going on. Like, focus. Like, they're just having a blast out there, honestly.
Yeah.
Honestly, like obviously we everyone knows all of the big 3, big 4. The big 3, big 4 would be, Terquavion, Jarkel, DJ, and KC.
Mm-hmm.
But since he's come back, Jack Clark has provided such a lift. Just I feel like he's been shooting the ball better. I don't know if it's better or just. I mean, I would say better. He's taking better shots. I know that was a frustration point for a lot of folks that he was just jacking up threes. He's been much more calculated. I want to say again, Michael, if you've got the stats from the last 2 games for Jack, I think he's probably been outperforming what his season averages were coming into it. So if you want to throw those stats out for us, go for it.
Yeah. So he's shooting from 3 because that was the biggest concern because he was shooting 25%, I think, before. Since he's come back, he's 5 for 11, so just under 50%.
I'll take that all day twice on Sunday.
I'll take it. Yeah. Nice.
And he had 9 rebounds against Syracuse and 8 against UNC. He's just like he just knows how to get the ball. I don't know. I don't know. That's just like so you can't. It's something you can't really teach.
And let's not forget that pass he had out to KC for the 3.
Yep.
Like that was
beautiful.
That was beautiful, right? Because we were kind of teetering a little bit, and like you thought maybe the momentum was swinging Carolina, and then we had those 2 back-to-back breaks where I don't know if we got 3s in both possessions, but it definitely swung it.
They were close together, yeah.
Yeah,
that
save,
for sure. And then the save from Ernest at the end.
Yeah.
Like that was a beautiful play too.
And
like, he wasn't even looking, and it went right to Casey.
Yeah, and then Aiden, exactly what we're saying there. Great observation. Carson here again. Men's basketball commit Trey Parker was standing next to me outside the student section. He was hyped up. They had him on the video a couple of times, and both the Parker brothers. I know they're not related, but I'm calling them the Parker and Parker. Remember, if anyone played board games, there's Parker Brothers board games. So maybe that a thing.
Yeah.
But I think everyone was hyped up. The if anyone that wasn't at the game and that was watching it, the lines were just
crazy.
Yeah.
We lost it.
Ticket prices were like an all-time, like $200-$300.
Oh
am I back?
Gosh. Yeah, you're back.
Yep.
Yeah, ticket prices were crazy, insane.
Yeah.
But we got a free chicken sandwich.
Free chicken sandwich.
So
yeah, and I'm going to. I was just getting ready to pull that comment up. Someone in the chat said,
to Bacon.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
No, it was
right
awesome.
Here.
I mean that.
Yeah,
I haven't.
Aiden again right there.
Yeah.
And that chicken sandwich tasted better than any chicken sandwich I've had in my life. And I'm not like that's a fact. It just tasted so much better.
Hey, even the Carolina fans thought it was salty. So.
Oh. But
Not a good one.
But
Not a
I'm
good one. Not a good one.
he's tired. He's tired, guys. He'll be back.
Yeah. Aiden posted it again.
No,
Go ahead.
that environment was awesome. I mean, that's what like there's there's always talk of should we have ever left Reynolds? It's like it doesn't matter when you put a good team on the floor. That PNC,
they're gonna
it's not to mention the fact that it's one of I think it's top 10 college basketball arenas in attendance or in size because it's a hockey arena too. So it's way bigger than most college basketball. So when that place is packed, it's crazy.
It's loud.
And I don't know. Yeah. I mean, maybe since me personally, that's the loudest it's been since I went to the 2013 Duke game. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of another one. Maybe that game where Braxton Beverly hit the buzzer beater against Clemson.
But that was just for that second. But it was my ears were hurting the entire game.
Typically, we have our biggest crowds when it's Duke and Carolina. Yeah. That's just the way the nature of the beast goes. But so full disclosure, and people are gonna lose their mind. This was the first time ever that I've seen State play Carolina in person in basketball.
What?
Yeah, as crazy as that is to think. Because a lot of times that game's on a weeknight, or if the weekend game is in Carolina, so it's hard.
This actually was the first year in a while that both games were on a weekend. You usually do have one weekday night, weekday game. Yeah.
So for me, it
was extra sweet.
Well, yeah, it took me about a half to get going. I'm not gonna lie, because I was still dragging from the hockey game Saturday night.
Greg was messaging me and Hannah, and we were knocked out. He was
I hit him up 1:00, 1:30 when we got back to the hotel.
What are you cool cats up to?
What are you cool cats up to? And they were like, we're sleeping. I'm like, what? Yeah. But Cam Metcalf goes, hey guys, how about that Wolfpack? That's right. How about that Wolfpack? Here we go. I like this dedication because I can get on this train here with Michael Taylor. I was debating driving 9 hours from Western PA for the weekend. It was so crazy. Yeah. I mean, sometimes you just got to bite the bullet and do it, Michael.
Well, I got lucky because I flew that new Velo airline.
Oh, so
I paid $100 for my ticket. I didn't know if I was going to make it, but
gave it a shot.
Yeah, worked
out.
Let it
ride.
But no.
Another, and we'll get back to basketball here in a second, but just another byproduct of the weekend is hotel prices were just outrageous if you didn't get in early. We had some friends that came in from California for baseball, and they were spending $400 or $500 for the Aloft on Hillsborough Street. And $400 or $500. It's called the Ritz, and that's not what the Aloft is. It's a nice hotel, but so the city of Raleigh made some ducats for sure. Charging $40 to park for hockey. Heck, they even charged $10 to park yesterday for the Frozen Finley game, and again we're working our way to that. But let's just take about maybe 2 or 3 minutes just to talk about Kevin Keats' press conference on Sunday. I think there was some good nuggets that you can pull out of that. One, that he doesn't stack those wins, I think is what his comment was, because they're not our rival. I love him feeding into the narrative. A little tongue in cheek there. Yeah. And then the other comment he had made, and then we'll dissect both of these. I'll give you both the floor to give your thoughts. But he was just talking about how, the question was his thoughts on the attendance for PNC for that game and how loud it was, and that he came out and said, look, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to talk about the attendance. He understood that it was a wait and see approach for many fans throughout the season, and that he understood that, and that this team had to win the trust of the fans. And now you're starting now the boys are starting to reap some of that, goodwill and early season success at home. I think I'm trying to go through my head. We only lost one game at home, Pitt.
Yeah.
Is my math right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Right?
Yeah.
Trying to
so hard.
If anyone's out there that has something different, please correct me in the chat. But I think only one loss at home this year, and that was the very first game in conference play. But Anyway, so each of you take a couple of seconds to give me your thoughts on each of those topics.
I
Kenneth,
mean,
you can go.
I said it before. I love Petty Kevin. I do. I've been waiting for him to be a smart A-word for a while, and I'm glad that it's finally happened. And I'm glad that it was against Carolina. That press conference, I loved watching. Terquavion during his, I loved watching. DJ Burns, like, I'm glad that they're just like they're hyped about it, but they're like, hey, we're not their rivals, so a win's a win. We're gonna take it, and we're gonna be petty with it. So,
Yep.
I respect it.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I I like it. I like the comments. I mean, obviously, it UNC players always seem to say it first. Drake May did it before our game.
It's just another
Caleb
game.
Love did it before the basketball game.
I think, Michael, if I can pause you there for a second, I think that's a great point that we're not the ones stirring the pot. Like, it's never us. We just go out there and do our thing. But please continue.
We're smart.
That's an excellent point.
And we don't talk until the final score. Like, we don't make an idiot out of ourselves.
And even the Terquavion, I know he got a lot of heat for that comment. I think it was after the Duke game, if I remember right, because he was talking about. But it wasn't really. He said
wasn't
you
in
don't
that
have
context.
He said like something like you don't have to go to one of the blue schools to be great, which that wasn't really a shot at them. That was more like saying you can go wherever.
You can forge your own path.
Yes. Yeah.
So agreed. Now, granted, you could pull some shade from it. Absolutely. And there probably was a little shade in there, right? Because that's what athletes do.
He does.
Yeah. He did say after this one he likes to troll. So that
he's petty too, but
he didn't. It wasn't a direct shot, if you will. It was a much more calculated shot, literally.
Like Caleb Love meant it 100%. It's another game. He did it. If he wanted to say, basically, he's saying we're trash and they were easily going to beat us.
Well, Baycott did it too when we played him over in Chapel Hill.
Like, that's how you diagnose what they said. But I mean, hey, just another game for them, just another loss too. So.
Yeah, for sure.
And
go ahead.
On the other comment about the attendance, I think that was like you were saying. I think it's a very mature answer. Obviously, I mean, I didn't expect anything less of him, but
you can't say Dave has been salty about it. I mean, he's made no bones about it. So you have both approaches.
Yeah, but I also think Dave's earned it a little bit more already. Dave hasn't gotten 0-12 in a season.
Yeah.
Probably be equivalent to finishing last in the ACC, like
I think that
last year. So
for sure.
I think it. I don't know. I think it was the right response, and that's what everybody's been saying. You put a good team out there, fans will show up.
And we've been talking about that, and we talked about it in regards to, look, if you're not gonna support the team, i.e., financially, when they're winning, you're never going to. So if you're gonna walk the walk, you better talk. If you're gonna talk the talk, you better walk the walk. That's what I was trying to say. Richard, we'll get to your comment here in a second. We're gonna talk a little postseason moving forward in some scenarios. Do our weekly, what we think we have to do to get ACC tournament seeding. But I think the last thing we want to talk about is the frozen Finley from yesterday. What an amazing environment that they had at Carter Finley. I saw a tweet today that there was a frozen Fenway 2-team game, two different days, I think it was, or something. And we're talking, real NCAA hockey, not club hockey.
Yeah.
And we surpassed that attendance last night. Granted, there wasn't official numbers, but it's safe to say it was somewhere between 24 and 26,000 people. It was. No, they didn't charge anything. No, they did accept donations. And for anyone that didn't attend but still would like to throw some money at the Ice Pack, you can definitely go to their website and help support them because they did incur some of those costs in order to play that game. So, look, I think they put on a great product. And so if you were there, last night. Go out there and just give them a couple dollars, man. They've earned it, and that's pretty much how they survive. They get very limited money from the school in order to participate in their sport. A lot of those guys just do it for the love of the game, and so let's support them, and that way they can keep doing great things. This is an Ice Pack team that's won multiple championships, played in the Nationals a couple years ago as recently, and then they've got they got a tournament coming up this weekend, and those guys travel a lot. They travel all up and down the East Coast playing their games, and so like I said, they would definitely rely heavily on donations. So we can plug them. Please go out and try to support them at icepackhockey.com, I believe is the link. But getting back to the game, look, beautiful weather last night.
Yeah.
And went out and won 7-3. It was a great atmosphere. Carolina struck really quickly, and I had about 4 dingleberries get in my face, start yelling at me that they scored 18 seconds into the game. I think it was something like that. And then we came back and just answered like nobody's
30 seconds
business.
later, right?
Yeah. I think it was like 22 seconons. Again.
Yeah.
Was it Greg that was in the fight? That was that video?
No, it was close to me though. It was close to me. We'll definitely talk about that.
I was really hoping then the person that came out of there as a state fan was going to be
Yeah,
Greg.
Yeah, for sure.
That would have made
that
me
would've been
so
funny.
happy.
Yeah, but I couldn't tell how quick it was because the scoreboard, and we'll talk about that again. I couldn't see anything on that scoreboard hardly. But we answered really quick, and then I just started going 0-3 right in their face, and then we scored, and then it was pretty much over after we got the next goal because we just went on a roll, and at one point it was 4-1, and we just kind of coasted and did our thing, and I'm so happy and proud of those guys that they competed, and I love seeing their reactions. And Coach, I know you're in the chat. I know one of our guys got a hat trick, and I apologize. I don't have the name in front of me, but that was awesome. It was just a really fun environment. I'm glad those guys got to experience that event for them. Yeah.
It was a freshman.
What's that? It was a freshman.
I'm reading their comments. Zach Herman.
Oh, there you go. Thanks. Leighton's in the
That's
chat.
right.
Yeah.
Looking up.
Yeah.
Leighton's got it before the coach.
No, Leighton is our Ice
No,
Pack guy. I
no.
follow the team from afar just because it's kind of hard to sometimes watch the games or I'm traveling when they're playing. But I definitely keep up with the records and all of that. But it was awesome that they had that. And let's see. Let me show this.
No, I mean that's a once in a lifetime kind of thing for most of those players.
Oh yeah.
And for fans too. I mean, who knows?
Right. I mean, for me,
Like,
like
do
if
that
I was
again.
involved in that game, that's a story I'm going to tell my grandkids, or my kids when I get older. Is like I got to play in Carter Finley Stadium on an outdoor rink, and we beat the Tar Heels 7-3. So it was for me. It was the cherry. That was the cherry on top of the ice cream last night. That's how it ended. And
the cherry on top of the ice cream was Ben Finley's video.
Yes,
that was
awesome
the best.
too.
That was the best thing.
Yes.
I don't know how he got
Mr.
in there.
Finley
but I loved it.
on the Jordan. So I can give you that story. He was the one that actually read to get the team hyped out. So he was coach invites someone to do that, and so what person to read Ben Finley. So he had that accent. I'm sure they had some fun at the expense of Carolina after the game. So yes, I don't know. Maybe Coach can give us some inside information on that. I'm sure they didn't jinx themselves.
They knew they were going to win that game.
Maybe they were that confident that they were going to go out and handle business. Yeah, for sure.
They just had it in the draft,
But,
ready to post right after.
There you go.
Yeah. Aiden said right here that he saw Drake May. So I guess maybe Drake May is our good luck charm. I don't know. I don't know. Every time he seems to show up at a state event, they lose. So I'm okay for that. Yeah. Yes, that's the greatest comment ever. He says, as soon as they won in Chapel Hill this year, I knew what I wanted him to do. Speaking of Ben Finley,
Ben Finley. Yep.
yeah, reading the lineup card. So that's good stuff. But I just want to take a couple more minutes here before we close out the program. That talk a little ACC postseason. I know the question was up here, and I want to definitely get to that.
Yep. And we should mention a couple other things. I assume you're talking basketball, ACC basketball postseason.
Yep.
Okay. Gymnastics won their quad meet. I think there was competed against 3 other teams. So 4-0. Yeah.
Yep.
And then swimming. Men's won the championship. Women's came in second. Both ahead of UNC. So you could add that to the total for the weekend too, if you really wanted to.
Yep. And then also we ran into Coach Dana from Pac Sale yesterday, and they won a big regatta this past weekend. And all 4 sailors, both in the men's and the women's division, took Sailor of the Week honors home. So we just kept crushing.
There you go.
Kept crushing it.
It was a good weekend for both.
Yeah. The only negative is, and we have to mention it, is the ladies lost yesterday, or excuse me, Sunday at Tech. But that's a team where they're number 2 in the conference.
7 players dressed too. I mean,
yeah.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. So, Coach, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate you, and best of luck in the playoffs this weekend. I think it's this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. I believe Leighton said that's happening. So go grab us another trophy so we can put it in the case.
Yeah.
But all right. So let's talk ACC basketball playoff, not playoff, but tournament seedings. So we have 3 games this week. Sorry, I'm just pulling my iPad so I can look at schedules.
Yeah.
We have 3 games left in the ACC schedule. We have Wake Forest tomorrow night, which is a 9:00 tip. We have Clemson on Saturday at noon, which is senior day. And then we travel over to Durham and play Duke. I think that's what, Tuesday or Wednesday?
Tuesday or Wednesday,
yeah. Do you have some schedules up, Michael, and I can pull some up, and then we'll compare notes and see what needs to be done.
So yeah, I mean, the simplest way, if we're talking getting that top 4 seed.
Is that me?
You watching the game?
No, something just came on my iPad. I can't even.
Well, I was keeping track of the Miami game.
Okay, sorry about that. Technical difficulties. We're having a Monday on a Tuesday.
Right.
I didn't even see the video. It was just playing audio.
Basically, the simplest way for the state to get the 4 seed is to win out and have Miami win out, because we have a win over Miami that Duke and Clemson don't have.
Okay.
So if they win out, they'll finish first. If we win out, we'll finish at worst tied with Duke and Clemson.
Right.
And with Duke, we'll have a tiebreaker because we beat them twice. And with Clemson, we would have split the series. So then it goes to your best win, which ours would be Miami as the 1 seed. So basically, we should be so we should be rooting for Miami, which looks like they're winning right now, about to win against Virginia Tech.
Okay.
And then we get the 4 seed. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to set it a little bit, right now UVA is leading the conference 13-3. Miami is 13-4. It sounds like they're going to go to 14-4 by what you just said, Michael. Pitt is 12-4. Clemson is 11-5, and we're 11-6. And then really the only other team that probably has a chance is Duke. I think Wake probably has lost their chance for a double bye. Again, we keep saying it. Just keep winning, and things will take care of itself. I mean, that's the one thing that you can control, is just go out and handle your business. That Syracuse game was a tough one. Losing that one, that was one that we, if we had, we're definitely in a much better position. Yeah. But I wanted to get up here to this question. So at worst case, I think we're going to get 1 bye, but we're still in play for 2.
Yep. Yeah. I think at well, I don't know. I haven't looked at it if we go 0-3, but I just don't even think we're gonna go 0-3.
I
these
don't
last
think
2
we're gonna
weeks,
go
though.
0-3 either. No,
I think we'll
we're
be
worst
4th or
case
5th.
2-1. Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
4th
too.
or 5th.
Yeah. But Richard Watson asked this question, and I think it's a good question. We're on the top of basketball. What is your fear moving forward into the postseason? For me, it's for some reason early foul trouble, but hopefully we can keep overcoming it. Yeah. So for me, I think, look, I still think we're a very streaky team as far as shooting the ball. When Jarkel and T are hitting shots, we're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Especially if both of them are hitting. This team is definitely made up much more different than last year's. The foul trouble thing is an issue. The teams that I feel like we've struggled against are teams that have really good low post players. If it's a guard heavy team, I feel like we match up much better because we don't tend to get into as much foul trouble. Jarkel usually does a pretty good job with foul trouble. He's had a couple games where he's gotten close. I think T's only fouled out on one game, but still he only had, I think, one foul over the weekend. So he typically doesn't get into those problems. But look, now having Jack Clark back, that's an extra body now that you can, free up some fouls. DJ continues to kind of sometimes have foul trouble, but
I mean, I think it's just it's his size. Like that's all it is.
Some of it's just positioning too.
Yeah.
And then look, as much as I love DJ, he's good for one lazy foul a game, like just a reach that doesn't need to happen. Or a frustration foul. But I think the foul trouble is definitely something that we need to keep an eye on. And again, just the streakiness of this team. You look at that first half. We scored 32 points. We're in the lead, but then we go out and score 40 some points in the second half. It's a team that if we start hitting threes, watch out. KC starts hitting his threes. Jarkel's hitting threes. T's hitting threes. It's I'll use the Boston College game as the example. Like if that team shows up in the tournament, watch out. It's a dangerous
You're
team.
beating those people. Yeah.
So
anyway,
what are you guys' thoughts?
I mean, like, I guess foul trouble, but it's only because you don't have Deuce there to back up Burns. Right. It's just a big drop off from Burns to Evie.
Yep.
So you could afford DJ to keep DJ in with 3 fouls when you've got Deuce right there, who's almost as good offensively and better defensively than Burns.
Yeah.
But you don't have that. So that is troubling. I don't know. Maybe once we get out of the ACC and into the NCAA tournament, we get a little better officiating. That might help with some of it.
Yeah, the other thing I will say too is it's about matchups, right? At the end of the day, it's about matchups. And again, like I kind of mentioned it, if we're in a team that relies a lot on their post players, I think we're gonna have some problems. But I think we do a really good job, and that second half really demonstrated it. And by the way, there's a stat that I want to throw out. Just remind me that we have the ability to lock down on defense, and we did that. We did that in the second half, especially in that Georgia Tech game a couple of weeks ago, where we switched up the defense, and that was a game changer. So this team has the ability. Again, it's going to be a mental grind if they're willing to do it. And I think, again, this team is got a lot of senior leadership out there, and even T is not a senior, but he acts and plays like a senior on the floor.
He's a leader.
Yeah, he's definitely a leader. But the one stat that I want to throw out before we close this is we only had 3 turnovers against Carolina, and 2 of those were in garbage time. So we really only had 1 turnover.
And that didn't happen until 9 minutes in the second half.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was 0 in the first half. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. But anyway, any closing thoughts, Ken's or Michael, before we wrap this?
We're winning the Natty.
I think there's no doubt that you're the conductor of that train, and I think you're getting more people on board.
I'm telling y'all, hop on
as we go on. Aiden, I will answer this real quick question from Aiden. There's not been really any real updates. as everything with today's social media age, there's lots of rumors that fly out there. I personally heard from someone that's kind of connected again. It's like heard from the mother's, uncle's, cousin's, nephew, twice removed, that he did have a little bit of a setback.
Yeah.
Take it for what it is. You know, it could be smoke screens. You know, I don't know. You know, he was definitely there. You know, he was passing out water to the guys I saw on
He was
Sunday.
jumping a whole lot.
Yeah, he was
That's
very
a good
engaged.
sign.
Yeah, he
I
was
guess.
engaged. I'm sure if he has the ability to get back, he's going to. I have no doubt that he, you know, who wants to be out there and fight with his brothers. So,
I bet
but other than
know that's hard for him too.
oh, for sure, yeah, for sure. Just because I think too, like I don't know if he's made an NCAA tournament, right? And so a lot of these guys haven't made NCAA tournaments, and you know that's why Jarkel came here, is he wanted to get to an NCAA tournament. So you know when you get there, you want to make the most of it. You know you don't go just to say I did it, right? You go to go win it. So
I think of the transfers, DJ Burns is the only one because
I think
Winthrop won the conference, but
yeah.
they didn't really do anything.
Yeah. No. I think he's the only one on the roster that has any NCAA tournament experience.
Yeah, actually, now that
I don't
you say
know.
that,
I don't think Clark.
player.
Yeah, I don't think Clark.
Dang.
And well, Casey
may have his first year
his
with
freshman year.
Virginia.
Yeah, probably his freshman year.
But he wasn't playing there.
Correct.
He wasn't playing at UVA that year. So yeah, like game time experience in the tournament. I don't.
So to go back to that question is like, how do I think like that's a thing? I mean, you start tightening up, right, in those close matches because you know you're one and done. So that could be something where you know teams either rise or they crumble. But all right, hey, well, it's been a week, and I think you know we're in store for some more great stuff coming up this week. Again, we have men's basketball tomorrow night at PNC against Wake at 9:00. Look, it's a late tip, but if you can get there, man, go support those guys. We need that place rocking. That was a game where we survived and advanced, if we want to use that term, since we're getting close to March.
And they're celebrating the 83 team.
They are. Speaking of surviving events, that's a great point, Kens.
Go get some autographs from the Kings themselves.
That's it. So if you've got a way to get there, get out there and support those guys. There's plenty of tickets out there. There always is on weeknight 9:00 tips. But
and a reminder that we don't have any pre-recorded episodes this week, so we're doing another live stream Thursday night.
Yep.
So we'll be able to talk about the Wake Forest game. Good or bad, I guess.
Yeah. We'll definitely have something to talk about there.
Good. Michael, get out of here with that negativity. You're gonna be
good. And again, we'll break down probably some of these games a little bit better. We just kind of did a lot of high overview stuff. There was just so much to get to. You know, we didn't talk a whole lot of stats.
Input on it too, and
for sure. But guys and girls, thanks for joining us. We love just you know talking these type of events, and we had the best time, and we keep saying it. It's a great time to be an NC State fan. So we're happy that you guys are along on the ride with us, and we appreciate all the love and support out there. Just be checking out social media. We'll be dropping updates as to what we'll be doing this week. But as always, Wolfpack Nation, it's like I don't know, like give me.
Greg's tired.
I'm rambling. I'm. Okay, we're gonna get this one closed out. Leighton, I apologize, Chief. I don't have the clip ready, so it's not gonna be pretty. But actually, hold on, let me try it. All right,
just in case. Bye, guys.
All right, we're gonna do live. All right, bye.